Welcome to the Rivalry Rant podcast. It's the Kentucky Wildcats versus the Louisville Cardinals and everything else in the world of sports. And now, your hosts, Josh Conder and David Smith. Let's get it on.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 7 of the Rivalry Rant podcast. Back from a 2-week hiatus. I'm your host, Josh Conder, here in the big chair, along with co-host David Smith. Back after a 2-week nice break, and lots to talk about. Dave, how things been going, my man?
Going well. Ready for September to get here.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's ever going to.
We're counting down days till two things: our yearly guys' vacation to the lake and football season. And we only have 16 days until the lake, so...
That's all, 16. 17 for me.
I can't, yeah. There's been a big debate. David's not going to join us the first night after I finally talked him in and made a lot of sense from my point, but that's something we just can't afford to get into tonight. There's no fake news there. It's all common sense, and the rest of the group will agree with me on that. But, like I said, we took last week off. Not a whole lot was going on. Then life kind of got complicated for both of us there for a couple days. So now we're back in action. And like Dave said, we're just waiting for September to get here because that's when the fun stuff really is going to start. But, David, before we dive into the UK U of L, well, I guess it's technically diving right into it. My hatred for ESPN continues. First, you have Lonzo Ball and his dad. But I hate to talk about him, but did you see what LeVar did here recently?
No, I probably don't even want to know.
Coaching an AAU game, he gets teed up and pulls the team off the floor.
Oh, no.
So basically, he's teaching these young kids it's okay just to, when something doesn't go your way, they just walk off the floor. Guess what led ESPN and SportsCenter? LeVar Ball.
Why? Negative attention.
Yeah. So, and there's been going on for a couple of months now. I don't know if you know, but talking about ESPN just being completely gone liberal at this point. And that's not even a joke. Like, that's a thing going around in a lot of media.
Wasn't there like a couple of people that got laid off at ESPN? They thought the reason they got laid off is because they were conservative.
Oh, there were massive cuts. I mean, Chad Ford, he no longer works for ESPN. He was their main NBA draft guy.
There was a girl that got laid off, blonde.
Beautiful, probably.
She wasn't ugly.
Britt McHenry or something like that.
I don't remember, but she said she got laid off because she was conservative.
Yeah. Well, I just have reached the breaking point when it comes to them covering news.
This is what it took, ladies.
This is what it took. Because it's the most ridiculous claim I can think of. I know why they did it. Because it's getting them clicks. Because there were more Kentucky fans that clicked on this than Louisville fans, probably, because it ticked them off. But ESPN reported that Louisville coach Rick Pitino would be the better coach for a college hoops dream team than John Calipari.
This may be the only time I've agreed with ESPN.
Yeah, of course. Now you're all pro ESPN.
Also, I'd like to say it was one person on the staff of ESPN.
Myron Metcalf that came out with this.
My boy.
Okay, yeah. After years of the SEC bias from ESPN, now we're going to go pro.
Oh, I still hate ESPN.
Yeah. But it comes out, and they say, and it's all just to get clicks. And it ticks me off. John Calipari's named the assistant coach, along with John Beilein and Jay Wright. And they're going to give Pitino the head. And this is the main reason why they give Pitino the edge over Cal. Because he can manage egos and build a variety of personalities into a motivated, competitive vessel.
They said it. They got it right.
Thoughts? They didn't get it right. You just told me outside.
Okay, I think they got it right, but I don't necessarily agree with the reason.
X's and O's. I can agree completely. I will give Pitino the edge somewhat.
And that's why I say I agree with it. But managing egos and...
If you're going to talk about managing ego, Calipari brings in 5 of the top 30 players in America every year. Many of them that could go to smaller, they're all top level athletes. But majority of them could pick a Louisville or let's say Villanova or a school like that, and they would be the show. At Kentucky, though, they have to come in and earn their spot and compete against some of the best. If that's not managing egos, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the reasoning for it. I would have been fine if they said something like, Coach Pitino showed time and time again he's a terrific X's and O's coach. He's done more with the players he has than a lot of coaches, even when he was at Providence, taking that 87 team to the Final Four. Just he does really great things with his players. And I'm fine with Cal being the assistant if they said something like he does a great job managing egos. He could even Pitino out and he'd be a good recruiter for the team. I didn't really get the reason.
It's a dream team. So you're talking about like former college players.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and until you come to Calipari offer the assistant coach, he's probably going to tell them to shove it up their ass because there's no way those two guys are getting along.
They act like they do, but they don't.
Oh, they hate each other.
It was funny listening to their, was it Calipari's podcast? They had Pitino on after we beat him this year.
Yeah. Cal or Pitino. And the only reason Pitino agreed to come on is because y'all beat us. It's all
he wouldn't have gone if we lost.
Yeah. And Pitino, they're so passive. Like, they want to talk each other up. Like, you do so good. And then it's Pitino. Well, Cal, I don't know how you bring in all these new players every year. That would just drive me crazy.
Do you remember the 2012 year when before the Final Four game they had that special and they were interviewed together?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you could just tell they hate each other.
Well, Pitino got, like, you've obviously not watched the one and done 30 for 30 with Cal, but Pitino, like, back in the day, they were tight.
I think
Pitino helped him get the UMass
That's
job.
what I thought. Yeah.
But then I don't know what I can't remember the year off the top of my head. But Cal got called. Kentucky was playing UMass, and Cal got called. He was like 3 or 4 inches outside the coaching box, and a referee from across the court called out of the box on a technical foul right when UMass had went up by 1. And then Kentucky just ran away with it at the biggest, like, even at Kentucky, like I was young, so I didn't really remember it from real time, but watching it, I was like, wow, the man got screwed right there. That was something. It was something else. But to me, ESPN is in such bad shape now. They cut millions of jobs, or not millions of jobs, but hundreds of people off their payroll. And this has to be solely just to get clicks.
Well, I think everything anybody does or writes now, 90% of the time is to get clicks, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's their job.
Right, I know, and it's a shame that it's like that anymore. That's why you see all these negative attention all over ESPN, all over the news in general, really, because for some reason that interests more people than good news or positive news.
I agree. But you throw Lonzo Ball on top of that, I'm kind of done with ESPN. Like, I can't take it anymore.
Oh, I've always been anti-ESPN.
Yeah.
I'm most anti-outside the lines.
Oh, of course.
Surely we're going to have a third outside the lines.
Dave, we talked about what was going on a little when you said nothing and you were happy with that. So let's not go down that road today.
Well, you mentioned ESPN.
I've had a Pitino, maybe if you got on prostitutes for this dream team joke, but I'm going to hold back from that.
Well, you can hold back. I'm used to it by now.
Yeah, you're used to it. But I just had to get that off before we really dove in. But today we want to talk about some SEC. We're going to do a little UK All-Star game that's being talked about now. See, David's thought he'd rather watch than have to watch that. But a little news there. And then today we're breaking down Louisville's football schedule. As much as it pains me to talk about the Dirty Birds, we're going to go game by game and look and see. Hopefully, maybe they can go 0-12.
I'm finally excited to be able to talk about football.
Yeah, so we're going to break that down. We're also going to make a bold prediction on the Louisville football season. I don't know what mine's going to be yet. This is going to come through me here in the next hour, hopefully.
But I'm glad you put a lot of thought in it.
Yeah, we our show prep's not very good.
No, it's not good. Yeah. I show up, we start rolling.
We show up, we drink a beer, we write down on a envelope every week what we're going to talk about. That's just seems like it's working for us, though, so why change it up? But University of Kentucky Assistant Athletic Director Dwayne Peavy has came out. This made Snapchat stories. Like, if you know, when you check on Snapchat, you can read, like, articles from, like, BuzzFeed and stuff. We got our own little nice there.
Another recruiting tool.
Well, if you all had as many players in the NBA, maybe you all could do this game. But the topic is could an all UK NBA team play against the Warriors or maybe even the Rockets now and be competitive and beat them? And Kentucky does a all-star game every year where these guys come back. One year they did Kentucky versus like the villains, like Christian Laettner showed up and was the assistant or the head coach of that team. So now Peavy has been saying how he's going to be in talks with some of these guys. Now I don't think you're going to get the full Golden State Warriors squad to come out and play. Probably not going to get the full Houston Rockets squad.
Which will make it a lot less interesting if they know.
But if you get Curry and Durant and then some
Yeah,
of
but
the
I feel
other,
like those are the guys that aren't going to do it.
I don't know, man.
Because if you take either one of those guys out, forget about it. Nobody's going to care.
I don't know. If you have Durant's going to be the show of it.
It would be pretty cool if they really did the full-blown Golden State team versus the best Kentucky basketball players. That'd be interesting, but if you take the best players out of it...
They'd sell out Rupp for that. If it was
the best players?
No, with the Warriors. If you had the whole Warriors team going against a Kentucky All-Star team, they're selling Rupp out.
Why would you not want to go watch Kevin Durant play?
Yeah, and in the past, they haven't even... I think they sell out the lower bowl normally to that game. So it would be absolutely huge. But I talked about it with some other Kentucky guys, and I feel like the UK lineup would be Wall, Booker at the 2, and then you're just going to go huge. You're probably going to play Davis at the 3, Towns at the 4, and Cousins at the 5.
Do you have a bench or is it straight 5-on-5?
Well, you're probably going to have a bench too. And then I think the bench gives Kentucky better chances if you want to go that far.
Yeah, I'd have to sit down and think about it.
Yeah. But that 5, straight up, any chance. I think it's a lot.
I'm taking Golden State in 7.
Obviously, I know you would take the reigning NBA champs that have played.
Well, that is a good lineup.
Yeah. I think it'd be a lot. You'd have to take away Golden State 3 ball.
That's not going to happen.
Wall's not the greatest defender, but I think he would slow down Curry. Booker, I don't know if he could keep up with Klay Thompson or not. Booker's defense was never good at Kentucky, much less in the pros.
Well, that's just not the player he is.
Yeah. But I think it's a lot closer game than what people think. I think Davis playing the 3 on Durant would slow Durant down some.
First of all, I'm going to say the odds of this ever happening are less than 1%.
I'd be surprised. You're not going to get the whole team. There's just no possible way.
Don't you think without the whole team, it's not that interesting?
Dude, if Kevin Durant's coming to Rupp Arena, I'm all in.
But if Steph Curry, who's won NBA MVP Player of the Year, doesn't play and Kentucky wins, it's still not going to be like, oh, we beat them.
Well, Kevin Durant won.
Right, but you still don't have the second best player on the team. I'm just saying, I think it'd be really interesting if everybody played. I'll admit that would be interesting to watch.
I mean, I completely agree with that, but even... What if you got some of the guys off the Rockets and some of the guys off the Warriors?
I think it kind of takes away from it then, because I feel like at that point it's...
You're still playing a full team.
But I think it'd be cool to be the Kentucky versus Golden State.
Yeah, but Kentucky's at a disadvantage. Golden State's played together all year. Those guys have had time to gel against each other.
That's true.
The fact that Kentucky has as many people in the league, and this is even a conversation, is mind-blowing to me.
I mean, obviously.
I mean, Darius Miller has signed a contract back again.
Again, when you get the best players every year, you're going to have the most NBA players every year in the league. It's just a reality in the situation. Nothing wrong with it.
We got more than Duke. Duke gets the best players every year.
I still feel like you ought to get better talent than Duke. I feel like you ought to get better.
Like we're 1 and 2 every year.
Yeah. I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm just saying there's a reason why.
Like you're saying we get white guys. Is that what you're saying?
No, there's a reason why you have so many NBA players, and it's because you get the best recruiting class. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of like how Alabama puts the most pros in the NFL. They get the best players, so there's the most pros in the NFL. It's kind of the same conversation you have, could Alabama beat the Browns? People always want to talk about that, which they get throttled.
No way. There's no way.
No.
But I'm talking guys that have played in the NBA. I think there's a lot. I think it's a lot better game than what you would think. But All-Star games,
I think it'd be a good game. I mean,
All-Star games, those guys aren't playing all out like that.
No, that'd be another thing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even whoever won. It wouldn't be a true who's better, really, because you know they're not going to give 1,000% like they're giving in Game 7 of the finals.
Yeah, obviously. But I'm kind of blown away by that. I just thought it was pretty cool, and I hope something along those lines happens.
I would really doubt that would happen.
That
I guess if you paid them a lot of money, the players, a lot of money.
Well, they market it too, is it like they give money to them, like for their charities, which is a tax donation.
Yeah.
So there's ways to swing it. For
yeah, I don't think it'll happen
to get it there for sure. But I'm like you. I'll be kind of surprised if it happens, but I feel like something along the lines like that will happen. But now, like we said, we're ready for September to get here. Let's fully shift to football.
I'm done with basketball. I'm over it.
Yeah, with all the good news you all had in the offseason, I would be done with it too.
We'll try again in November. As my buddy Trent Robinson he'll say we'll try again tomorrow. We'll try again in November. I'm done with you for a while.
But David, I got a source that has Bobby Petrino to Ole Miss after this recent Hugh Freeze. Escort service has been big for NCAA recently. We got Hugh Freeze down there. Patino, his team tied up in it.
Don't even start.
But Hugh Freeze or resigned, technically, I guess.
Fired.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Forced to resign.
By Ole Miss. And Bobby Petrino's name, of course, brought up. There's no way Bobby Petrino ends up at Ole Miss.
No. 0% chance.
No.
Why would you?
Ole Miss, in my opinion, is looking. They'll settle this year with the offensive coordinator, whoever took over for them. They're on Kentucky's schedule. I was jumping for joy when Hugh Freeze decided he was going to call some prostitutes.
This year they're on Kentucky's schedule?
Yes, they are our second West opponent. So now we have Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is home. Mississippi State's away.
Man, you're all schedule set up.
Our schedule's setting up for it. The stars are aligning for Kentucky football this year.
If you're going to win 8 games this year, you do it.
I'm thinking maybe 9.
I think 9 is a pipe dream, but you never know.
You got to have high hopes, man. That's all there is.
Apparently you have to have high hopes because apparently Kentucky football thinks they're going to the playoff, which is a whole other comedy.
I want to talk. That's a good point. We didn't even have that written down.
Let's talk about that.
I can't believe you didn't text me about this. Why did you hold off? Were you saving it for the podcast? I saw it come out and I said,
"There's 2 ways I see it."
Would you quit interrupting me?
Well, you asked me a question. You said
I was going to throw it back to you.
You have the floor. You have the floor.
Thank you. I saw it come out, and every time I heard my phone go off, that day, I was like, well, that's David. That's David going to talk about this. What were your thoughts about it?
I think it's funny. I don't think even the most illogical UK fan thinks you're going to the college football playoff. But I don't necessarily I want to make fun of you for it badly. But I think you do have to have high expectations, even though I think that expectation is not even in the realm of possibility. I'll make fun of you a lot more for creating rings for a regular season victory and a bowl loss before I make fun of you for having high expectations.
Okay, first off, they were season commemorative rings.
And you were anti too, correct?
Yeah, I bash them too. They're the stupidest things ever.
Okay.
But here's the thing with the banner and it's in the weight room. Okay, and the strength and conditioning guys put it up. And it doesn't have the year on it. So it's not like we're saying we're going to make the playoff this year. But I feel like with these athletes, you want them working towards something. I'm not saying in 5 years at Kentucky. Look, I may be 80 and they still may not ever make the college football playoff, but it's probably going to go to 8 teams eventually, so your chances are going to get better. But I want kids that want to come in there and work towards a goal. And it's hard I'm a coach. I don't want my kids saying, well, I want to come in 3rd in my division. I want my kids saying I want to win a state championship and working every day towards that. So is it funny when you say Kentucky football to the college playoff? Hell yes, it's funny. I laughed and chuckled about it and I said, oh God, this is going to blow up on social media. It kind of didn't though. People were kind of the same thought process I was about it. Hey, you want kids to come in and tell them not to work for something?
I see it both ways. It's fine to have high expectations, but I think if you put the expectation too high, you can lose sight of things. I even think you could say that a little bit for Louisville last year in the middle of their season. That was a real thing for a while after we beat Florida State. Even after we lost to Clemson, it was a possibility we were going to the college football playoff. But I think, unfortunately, that expectation is why we kind of crumbled at the end a little bit. So I can see it both ways. It is funny, and I did want to make fun of you about it. But at the same time, I was like, I mean, it's fine to have a motivation.
Here's my
as ridiculous as it is.
When you're working out and you're lifting and you're trying to get that last rep, then if you see that on the wall, maybe that helps you push out, or you walk in and it makes you want to work out harder. It's not like we have it out the tunnel and we're slapping it before we go out in the field every game. We got to win this one because we're trying to get to the college football playoff. So, yes, was it funny, but mockable. Some people are. It's Kentucky football. We're used to it. But I kind of like Coach Stoops because he's like, I don't give a damn. I'll do whatever the hell I want to
That
do.
is one thing I like about Coach Stoops is when people call him out about some of the ridiculous things like the rings. He's like, I don't care. Like, you think whatever you want, I don't care. And I do kind of like that about him. I love making fun of Kentucky football. I've been able to make fun of them a lot less since last November, and it's really pained me. But I did find it comical with college football.
Yeah.
What were we even talking about before?
We're talking about Bobby Petrino at Ole Miss.
Oh, okay. I don't know how.
It's a done deal. I've heard about it.
Just sores.
Yeah, I got those sores.
There'd be no reason he goes there.
No. Why you want to play Alabama twice once a year?
Why would you want to do that? No. You have a lot better chance of going to the college football playoff at Louisville and the ACC when you really only have to play two great teams before you are going to the SEC West.
I mean, I think Tennessee would be a better job for Petrino to look at than Ole Miss.
And people will mock me for this, and I could very well be wrong because I've been wrong many a times. I will be surprised if Bobby Petrino doesn't retire at U of L. I will be. And the only reason I say that is because he's 55, his whole family lives in U of L, and we're now in the ACC.
They live in U of L, like on campus?
U of L. No, they live in Louisville. We're in the ACC. I don't know. I just don't see him leaving. I mean, I guess if an insane job came open, I wouldn't be surprised, but he's not going to Ole Miss.
I couldn't see that either. I think the best thing Ole Miss can hope for right now is Lane Kiffin having a big year at Florida Atlantic.
Man, wouldn't Lane Kiffin just fit at Ole Miss?
Probably.
Just because he's a joke, and going to Ole Miss will be another joke in his lineup.
And they have so many beautiful women. I'd be all for going to Ole Miss.
Why was everybody, not recently, but why was everybody always so big on Lane Kiffin? What has he done as a head coach?
Nothing yet.
He's not done anything.
Nothing.
I don't know why everybody regards him as this great
He's
coach.
a great offensive mind, but he's young though too. So maybe with being with Saban, which that relationship was never perfect by no means, but maybe he's picking up on something. Finish Last Chance U second season, and you'll see what they're talking about him.
Saban hated him.
So Saban left him on, drove the bus off without him twice while they were in the college football playoff.
Not to mention, he told him not to even coach in the championship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was ridiculous.
Yeah. And where did Sarkisian end? He left too after that. The offensive coordinator.
He was there one game and left?
He's not. I'm pretty sure. Check that.
I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure he left too.
I
don't know where, but
Steve Sarkisian was his name, right?
Yeah, Steve. Which he had an alcohol problem. That's how he even ended up
Yeah, because he was at USC.
Yeah.
Offense coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was
one game in Alabama.
Yeah. Dude, they put it all on him.
What if he went and coached that one game, won a ring, and then left?
He was going to get a ring regardless. He was already on staff.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It wasn't like Bobby Petrino said, I got one game on bringing.
I thought for real they hired him to be the offense coordinator for next year.
No, he was an assistant.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just rolled up one. He went from the booth down to the field is all he did.
So what was his title before that?
He was assistant.
Co-offense
coordinator. But then they lose that game, and it's all about, well, if he'd left Kiffin in there, maybe. Which that was a bold move.
That was a bold move. I didn't get that at all.
But
not a bad gig, Atlanta Falcons offense coordinator.
No,
they got kind of
Matt Ryan, Julio, Devonta Freeman.
Yeah, not a bad gig.
I'm going to load up on him on fantasy, hopefully, this year.
But no, Ole Miss stunk before Hugh Freeze got there.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, no.
But, I mean, if they let them keep the escorts, then maybe they got something going on there. Something Bobby Petrino obviously flashed up, and then the other day I was reading through Twitter, and somebody said something about Stoops going there. I don't think there's any chance.
I don't think he would. I think there's a better chance Stoops goes than Petrino. But I don't think he would because, again, would he have a better chance of winning at Ole Miss? I mean,
No.
probably not.
His main recruiting pool is coming out of Ohio. Their second establishment is now coming out of Florida, which I guess Ole Miss would be. But he's not going to have that pull from them Ohio kids to bring them down to the SEC like he does in Lexington, where he can sell, hey, you're 2 hours away from home. That's not going to help him there. Plus, he's going to be lining up against Auburn, Alabama, Texas A&M if they get stuff going right again.
Yeah, I mean, if the SEC East was loaded, then I could see it kind of as a possibility.
He's got Georgia and Florida right now. Tennessee's falling off the wagon this year.
And it's not like Georgia and Florida is necessarily powerhouses either.
I think Georgia's going to be your team out of the East.
Yeah, I think they got to prove it, though.
They're preseason.
I think you got to
Man,
prove it.
Easton's a Heisman candidate, and you have the two, probably the best running backs in the conference.
Oh, yeah, I think they'll be good.
Yeah. If they can put some defense with Kirby Smart, defensive-minded guy, I think Georgia's your I think they're probably the biggest threat to Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, from the East, I guess.
From the East by far. But I think overall at the end of the season, you're going to look at Georgia, and they're going to be right there. Well, there'll be some pressure on. I'm not saying that Georgia's going to go undefeated. It's going to be whoever's in the SEC title games playing for the spot. But I think Georgia will put some pressure.
They're ranked preseason, what, like
11th.
11th.
Yes. 10th or 11th. One of the two. But now the moment David's been waiting on since we've started this podcast. And by the way, tell everybody about your son's little outfit he had on the other day.
Oh, it's great.
Classy get up.
Lamar Jackson had the famous Heisman outfit, which was awesome. Let's just all be honest. And so my Aunt Jessie, my sister.
Not your aunt, his aunt.
Her aunt.
His
aunt.
Your son's aunt.
Can't get it right.
Your sister.
She got him the Lamar Jackson onesie of what he wore, what Lamar Jackson wore to the Heisman ceremony. And it's the cutest thing you've ever seen. I mean, it has it all. It has the crucifix. It has the bow tie. You know, the red onesie. And so I took a picture of it and I, what do you call it, tweeted. I'm still Twitter illiterate.
Tweeted.
I tweeted Mike Rutherford. I'm going to, hopefully it gets in the Card Chronicle on News and Notes, but it's a great onesie.
Did he drop anything that day?
Noah?
Yeah, did he fumble anything?
There's a possibility he dropped the ball.
I was holding back making that joke all day. It's not a very good one, but
Yeah.
All right.
Running dry.
Let's break this down. Louisville Football 2017 season.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Juice is running.
Saturday, September 2nd.
Purdue, 7:30. Lucas Oil Field.
Purdue in Indianapolis. What's your thoughts? Win or loss there?
Win, but I do think it'll be more interesting than a lot of people think it's going to be.
No, you smoke them.
Purdue isn't good. Jeff Brom, the head coach, and Brian Brom actually is the co-offensive coordinator, two U of L greats. They came in for a week to talk about that game for the media days. I think they made a terrific hire with Jeff Brom out of WKU. I think he'll really build something there, but they don't have the talent right now. I think last year they won 2 games.
Yeah. Jeff Brom will be an SEC coach one day.
I think he'll be a great coach of any program.
He is a great offensive mind.
I'm not going to sign at a conference.
But not enough there. Louisville wins that one. I think they win it relatively big.
I do think it'll be close in the first half just because I think we'll be nervous and it's the first game and things like that. But I think we'll win by 3 touchdowns plus.
All right. Week 2, we're going to North Carolina. At North Carolina, what you got there? They lose their starting quarterback.
A lot of people think that this is going to be a tough game. I don't because North Carolina's losing a lot. They're breaking in a brand new quarterback. I'm pretty sure he's a freshman or a sophomore. They lost a lot of offensive players from that team. They lost Switzer, that wide receiver who's real good. They're not
Cowboys.
the same team. I think it's close, but I think we win by 2 touchdowns.
Okay, I agree. I got you winning that game. Probably pretty close. That's a noon kick. You're happy about that?
No, because it's away.
No. Sorry. You only want home noon kick. Well, you got 3:30 the following week with Clemson on ABC. What about that?
That, last year, before the season, I called into a radio show. I don't like to talk about the radio show because it was my favorite comment. But I called into the radio show. I said that Florida State game at home is a must-win game for us this year. And I think this game is a must-win too. I really like that we play in the third week of the season because, again, they've obviously lost Deshaun Watson. They've lost Gallman. They lost one of their really good wide receivers. I can't remember his name. They've lost a lot of players too. Having said that, their defensive line is going to be amazing. And our offensive line is not. I think it's going to be tight. I think either we're going to barely lose or Lamar Jackson's going to have another Heisman moment for a runner-up campaign. I'm going to take us in a close one by 3 points. Close one.
You're not beating Clemson. No, the D-line's going to eat you.
The D-line is great. It depends on if our offensive line improves. Are we going to see the offensive line the first 6 games of the season? Or are we going to see the last 6 games of the season last year? If our offensive line doesn't improve, we'll get beat by 20. But you're hoping as a fan with our new offensive line coach that he's going to come in and do some things. But I do like that game being the third game, and I like it being at home.
All right. So you got Louisville in a close one there. I got Louisville to drop that one. Following week, Kent State. My Lord.
We don't need to talk about it. Win. Blowout.
I don't know about it.
Hopefully Jawan passes in the fourth quarter.
I'm a little bit. Week 5, Murray State. Wow, 2 cupcakes back to back. Great ACC schedule.
2 cupcakes.
I'm sure we're going to both pick that.
See some Jawan pass again.
Now, this one's interesting. A Thursday night high school game.
Love Thursday night games. I hate them. We always lose.
Now, at NC State. Trap game. Dun-dun-dun.
I don't know if you would even consider it a trap game. I think NC State's going to improve this year. I think they're going to win 8 or 9 games. They have a lot returning. They have a great defensive line. You'll be surprised when I say this, and you're going to think I'm crazy. I think they could have the best defensive line in the ACC. They have a lot coming back. They have 2 or 3 first and second round picks on that defensive line. They're going to be a good team. I got us losing Thursday night.
Why are you stealing my picks? I got you dropping that one too.
I got us going down. Yeah. In a close one.
Losing NC State. Following week after that, we got Boston College. No more Patty Ice there, so this game's much more winnable for you guys.
It's much more winnable.
Yeah, much more. No Patrick Tolles there to kind of scare you all, give you second thoughts.
That's at home. I think that is going to be a type of game like Virginia where we're really overconfident and we ended up pulling it out at the end, 7-10 point victory.
I got you both on out. Boston College is awful. It's homecoming.
Yeah.
Might have a little Teddy B on the field, pumping some people up. Got you there. Now here's the prime time game for you guys this year. Saturday, October 1st, in Tallahassee at Florida State.
I was supposed to make a bold prediction for this podcast. My bold prediction is not going to be us beating Florida State. I think they'll beat us pretty handily. It's really hard to win in Tallahassee. I think Francois is going to do great this year. Their defense is going to be really good. And they have a lot coming back. They lost Dalvin Cook. But I think in Tallahassee, it's just going to be tough. I said that last year about Clemson, and we should have beat Clemson. So who knows? I got Florida State beating us by 10-17. Hope I'm wrong.
I got you there. I got Florida State winning that one, blowing y'all out.
I don't think it'll be.
I think Florida State's you're playing for your national championship this year.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. There's no doubt.
That's my dark horse
I
for
can
the
definitely
national
see it.
championship game. Then looks like you guys get a bye week and then go have Virginia at home. Wake Forest. God, forgot about the Demon Deacons.
Demon Deacons.
Yeah, Wakey Leaks for revenge.
Wakey Leaks. Revenge. We win by 50.
All right. Close enough. I'll go. You win that one too.
Wake Forest is a joke.
Maybe last year.
We won 44-6.
Last year?
Mm-hmm. Remember, it was close in the fourth quarter. We scored like 35 points.
Was it only? That's right. They only hit 2 field goals. They had all.
It might have been 44-12. It was a blowout.
No. All right, and then you got the Orangemen of Syracuse coming to Louisville. Do you all play on the road at all?
We play 6 games like everybody else does.
Hmm.
That, I think, would be an interesting game. I think we beat them, but I really like Dino Babers. How could you not? But I think they'll be better this year.
I don't even know who he is.
Oh, he's great. You have to watch some of his motivational speeches. They're good. You would like them, trust me.
So
He was the Baylor offensive coordinator during all that time. The bad.
Oh,
the
so
bad
he's innocent then.
Well, he wasn't in on any of that, but we win that game. I think that'll be a little closer than people think, too.
If you don't blow out Virginia, you're awful. You win that one, I blow out.
No, you said Syracuse.
No, this is Virginia.
Oh, you said Syracuse.
I get Virginia first.
We always struggle with Virginia, though.
You always struggle with Syracuse. I feel
That was
like.
Virginia. Because remember, we lost to Virginia, Bobby's first year.
The Syracuse game was close last year, though, too, wasn't it?
No, that was the
until-
Lamar League. We won by 50.
Oh, that's right. I was at the
Remember?
I was at the bar watching.
I think he had 8 touchdowns.
That's why I kind of got a little.
You're thinking of Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia beat us.
I remember that.
Bobby's first year.
Y'all had to drive on Virginia to beat them last year.
Yeah, I remember Lamar threw the Hail Mary to Jalen Smith like with a minute left to beat him.
I don't know. I was watching it. I don't know. I was sick of my stomach.
I think we beat both of them pretty good.
I got you beating Syracuse, too. So then it comes down to the primetime game of your schedule of the year. You travel to Lexington.
Prime game.
Even though it'll be a noon kick. I got tickets.
I know, and I have yet to get the invite. I've dropped really big hints. Not even subtle hints, people. Huge hints.
For the record,
Giant.
I asked David to go to a game with me years ago, and his brother got married the night before, but he wouldn't get up the next morning.
You got to stop holding grudges. At some point, you have to let it go.
No.
Can we just agree you've already
Get
given a
one
ticket
shot.
away, and that's why?
I haven't given any of my tickets away.
So do I have hope? Do I have any % chance of getting an invite to that game? Give me a 5% chance.
Depends on what my season's looking like at that point.
We could do the live from Lexington Rivalry Rant podcast.
No.
We can get way more viewers than Matt Jones.
No. And I feel like UK would probably kick us out as soon as they saw us doing something up there.
They would.
But Lamar gets his revenge, or what? What happens in Lexington?
It's going to be interesting. I love making fun of Kentucky football, but I think they're going to be pretty good this year. I think they're going to win like 8 games. I think they're going to have a really good offensive line. They have a pretty good foundation. I love making fun of them. Eventually, they'll be back to being Kentucky. It's only a matter of time. But I do think this year they'll be good. I got us winning, but in a close one. I got us close.
Well, I can't let my pride get in the way. I'm splitting that one. I'm not letting you have. Kentucky's beating you at home. And
We're 8-4 this year in your eyes, huh?
yeah, I like you down this year.
Man, I just don't see it.
Okay.
Well, I take it back. I see it. I mean, I can see us going 8-4. I shouldn't say that.
I can see you going 10 or 2. I can see you going 8-4.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
It depends on what team you see. I mean, and that's what's kind of weird about the season. I told you earlier in the season, I always have a good feel of how we're going to be. I picked our correct record like 5 years in a row.
Until
this year, I don't know. Until last year.
Yeah. Here, and this is my bold prediction, and let me say, I do not wish any ill will on anybody. And I'm not, Louisville fans don't get like I'm hoping this happens, because I'm not. I would not wish this on this kid. But this is you're coming off of the first full year that you had Lamar at the helm. People are going to figure him out somehow, I think. We've had the conversation privately. You think he could not have as good a year as he did last year, but you ought to be a better team. And I could see that happening. You're going to have to develop a run game to go with it. But as much as he's running the ball, because I don't see the run game coming for Louisville this year. I just don't. I don't think your offensive line is going to improve like you want it to. I just do not see that happening. So here's my thing. I worry about him as much as he runs the ball in the open field getting hurt.
I mean, That's a fair point, but anybody can get hurt. I think this year's play call is going to be a lot different than last year's play call. I think this year you're going to see more of a pro-style offense than you did last year. And I think the reason that is because toward the end of the season, teams were kind of figuring this out.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to change our offensive strategy. And if there's one thing I'm confident with Coach Petrino is he knows what to do when it comes to offense. And I think we're going to have to change that strategy up from last year. I think our defense will be improved too. And that's something a lot of people aren't talking about. Well, you lost Devontae Fields, you lost Josh Harvey-Clemens. Look, they were overrated. I get bashed about saying that. They never.
I say Fields was. Harvey Clemens.
They never did anything to impress me over. Harvey Clemens should have been playing linebacker. He got burnt time and time again.
Well, what, the Jay Alexander kid?
He's great.
Yeah. I think he's one of your top defensive players in the ACC.
And I just think you're going to see a different. I think you're going to see more Bobby Ball back from the first stint this year. It's not going to be fully because when you have a guy like Lamar Jackson, you still got to do the read options. You still have to utilize his legs. But I really think you're going to see a different offensive game plan this year.
I think you'll see Lamar throwing the ball around more, but until you can establish a running game to go along with him, he's still going to have to operate out of that read option.
Which is even more amazing he had the year he did last year with that offensive line and lack of run game because it was non-existent. I mean, we had 3 or 4 games where we did all right on the run game, and those were a lot of the games where we won big. And what really hurt us is our really good freshman running back we were supposed to have this year, Dave Williams. He was going to start. He tore his ACL. They got Reggie Bonifant as a starting running back right now.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely questions. You like to think that Mike Summers is going to help that offensive line. I am not foreseeing all-pro offensive line. But if we don't improve from last 3 games of the season on the offensive line, we'll be in trouble. But I think we will. I got us going to 10-2.
Okay. My bold prediction is Lamar gets hurt before the UK game. And that's why I think if Lamar plays in the game, I think you guys, barring Kentucky just coming out on fire and developing a defensive line, because our defense is going to be fairly solid, but we are lacking the line. If Lamar plays in that game, Louisville will win that game, I think. But I don't see him getting through the season this year. I think he's going to be hurt. He's going to be banged up way too much because I just don't. Until you show me the run game with that offensive line, you can't run the ball behind an offensive line that doesn't block.
I mean, he did it last year somehow.
Oh, he did. But I'm saying this is going into year 2 of him being that big of a runner for you all.
I think you could also make the argument, though, he's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger. He might be less prone to get hurt. No. But again, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater dislocated his knee from dropping back. I mean, anybody can get hurt, so.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't wish it upon the kid, but that's my bold
Obviously, if you say Lamar's going to get hurt this year, it's going to completely change my thoughts on wins and losses.
But that's my bold prediction. That's why I'm.
I mean, without Lamar, we're 7-5 this year, is what I would guess. If we don't have it.
I think you still make 8-4 with that. I mean, you play a pretty weak schedule outside of your big games.
Now, hold on, though. You have us going 8-4 with Lamar, right?
Yeah.
But we're going 8-4 without him?
Yeah.
I saw your face and you realized you were wrong, but then you realized you had to commit.
See, this is a podcast, so people are going to believe who they want to believe in that conversation. So you're saying that you'd go 7, or that Juwan passes?
I think that Lamar has 3 games where he can win on his own, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I think next year, if Lamar goes in the NFL and he has that kind of year we think he can have, then I think it's different because you have a lot more players developed because a lot of our offensive line is young. And I think when passes back there as a sophomore, I think we win more than 7. I'm talking about this year.
So what's your bold prediction?
This is a bold prediction. I want to say Lamar winning the Heisman again, but I can't because it's so hard. And also, he won the Heisman last year because of his ridiculous stats. I think if Lamar Jackson has the same year he had last year numbers-wise, we only win 8 games. Because I think he'd be doing too much at that point. So I don't think he'll win the Heisman. I do think he'll be in the running for it. My bold prediction is that Florida State loses to Alabama, week 1. we beat Clemson. We lose to Florida State. Florida State loses one more game. They go 10-2. We go 10-2. My bold prediction is we go to the ACC conference and win that championship. That's my bold prediction.
So you're winning the ACC championship.
That's my bold prediction.
That should be good enough to get you in the playoff.
No, because we could. I mean, if in that scenario, you could go 10-2.
You go 10-2, and then you're beating who out of the other?
I don't think you go to the playoff with that.
With the ACC championship?
I don't think so.
With your only losses being Clemson?
No, I'd say we beat Clemson.
Who are your 2 losses then? You think you're still going to lose those games if you beat Clemson?
I say we're going to lose to Florida State and we're going to lose to NC State.
Okay. I can see it. But wouldn't Florida State hold the tiebreaker over y'all?
It depends on the situation.
The Alabama game is not going to hurt them in the ACC.
No, but if they lost, if Clemson beat Florida State, okay, and they lost to Alabama, and then Florida State dropped one more game to have 2 losses in the ACC, and they were 9-3, and we were 10-2 with a win over Clemson. I think.
But they would have the head-to-head over you.
Yeah, but when we beat Clemson, though, right?
Yeah, but you would have to hope for a 3-way tie, and then it would go to your overall.
I don't know. It hurts my head too much. That's my bold prediction.
Just say I was right. It's okay.
You might be right.
I know I'm right.
That is my bold prediction.
I know.
I think we'll win the ACC.
I'm always right.
I don't even necessarily think that. That's my bold prediction.
Okay. So, Dave, it's been real fun breaking down this patty cake of a schedule here.
Patty cake.
I would love to play Syracuse.
We'll break down your all schedule, and I'll filter through that next time.
Yeah, at least we got some names on there.
You got some names that are irrelevant now. Don't even get me started how Tennessee's ranked.
25th.
SEC bias coming out.
Okay. But glad we got back in here. Not that, like I said, next week we'll try to shift to Kentucky. It's in the works, people. I've got a little special project we're working on. David's not happy about it at all. But you can tweet at him while he's not watching Game of Thrones. For years, I mocked the show, and it is literally taking over my life. I'm getting together with buddies every Sunday night to watch this hour-long TV show, and it's just been great. And a project I'm working on is I'm taking Game of Thrones characters and comparing them to see what college football teams are equivalent to them. David's never watched the show, so David won't be in here for that one. But I think it's going to be a good topic. I got 2 other guys that are going to start working on it this week, and hopefully we can get in for the special edition of the Rivalry Rant for some Thrones talk. When are you going to watch it?
No comment. I'm bitter about the special edition.
If you'd watch the best television show in the history of television.
I did. It's Sopranos.
Game of Thrones is killing it, man. Killing it. But until next time, this has been the Rivalry Rant podcast, and we'll see you guys next week.